speak to our hearts tonight, God, to help us over these next few moments as we worship and speak to your Father God. So I thank you for it, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen.
Sorrow comes sea still, the raging is still, every wave at your name, please bring it on, please. The storm surrounding me, let it break at your name still. Call the sea still, the raging beat is still, every wave at your name. Jesus, Jesus, you made the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Call these bones to live, call these lungs to sleep once again. your word, Father. We thank you and we love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, adults, you be seated and kids dismissed. Nothing's going on because evidently God is working all the time in ways that we don't even begin to think. Now on to the next thing sermon. It seems like I just tell you things that I messed up on and then tell you how to avoid them for yourself. It's kind of a thing that we've been going through lately. So on one day, Elijah and I are heading to where? Baseball practice, because that's where we live. And so we're heading to baseball practice, and I get down to 144, close to where Local Joe's is, right there on the right. I mean, people have just turned off at 431, and somebody is passing somebody right there. I mean, they didn't have time to go, and they're in my lane. And I'm like, this is bad. Why would you pass right here? They're weaving in and out of people. And I'm like, man. And I drive up, and I'm like, man, what an idiot. Why would you pass right there? And immediately, as I say, what an idiot, this verse comes to mind. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and redeemer. I said, I'm not even that mad, Lord. I'm not even that mad. I'm just, I'm slightly irritated. I'm not beating my steering wheel. I don't have no middle fingers hung out the window. It's nothing like that. It's not like that, I promise. And Elijah probably wouldn't even say I was mad. But as soon as it come out of my mouth, this verse comes to my mind, and I'm like, God, what are you trying to do to me? There was a guy probably saying worse than that when I was just driving by. And it's the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Like I said, I wasn't in a tirade. I'll say I was minimally frustrated. I would say idiot, that's not even a bad word, But, that's kind of like, hey, what are you doing? And then, but for whatever reason, God brought the verse to my mind immediately. And so I guess what it was to show me is that words are costly. Words are costly. And some say, well, words are cheap. Yeah, they're cheap when they come out of your mouth, but they cost you a lot when they're delivered. That's the reality of it. It's like, it's easy for me to say something ugly, but it might do damage that's irreparable. Words have destroyed relationships and they've built relationships. All in what you choose to arm yourself with. You ought not to sling words from your mouth so freely. And you know what? It's okay sometimes to say nothing. And not only that, I recommend it. Amen. Yeah. It's just best not saying it. Now, when I'm preaching, you say a lot of things. Amen. Yeah, good job. Way to go. We'll back that up. But if you're married, men, some of you have been married less than I have. I've been married 16 years. Some of you have been married more than I have. But if one thing we can all have in common is this. It's okay sometimes to say nothing. And I recommend it. Amen. And I recommend it. April would hate that I said this tonight, but you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't be both. And that's just the way it is. She hates when I say it. She's not hearing that, but she said it, so I got a free one. If anybody tweets me or puts me out there, that's how you, okay? Pastor Randy said, hey, April will be mad. Yeah. So, but you can't. You can fight. And the more you fight to be right, the less happy you will be. Because the reality is, especially, oh goodness, if you're arguing with somebody about the Bible, please just don't do it. Just tell them, you know what, you believe what you believe, I'll believe what I believe. Don't even fall into the trap this. I fell into this trap recently. Somebody asked me, they said, what do you believe about this? And I told them. And then they called me a Pharisee. I said, hold up, back up. I said, you asked me what my belief was on this. All I did is exactly I told them. I wasn't ugly, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't put my finger out the window. I literally just told them. I said, this is what we believe. They asked me about baptism. They said, who do I baptize in? And I said, the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, out of Matthew. And they told me I was wrong, and that I should believe it that way. And then it went from there. But it's just best to be quiet sometimes. I found that the mouth is powerful, and it can do great good, and it can destroy everything that's passed. Would you agree? I mean, it's amazing. Do you realize that you have the power to determine your children's behavior, their response, and their future simply by choosing which words you choose to use to reinforce or direct their behavior? Isn't that crazy? How powerful is that? You talk that kid into the ground, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go into the ground. You discourage them, they're going to live a life discouraged. They're going to think they're defeated. They're going to think that they can't rise up. They're going to think they always mess up. All they ever do is mess up, Dad. That's all you ever say. We got to build up. Build up. There's an old adage that says this. It says, what? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. That's what I was going to say. That's a lie. Words will hurt me worse than probably just about anything. At least when somebody punches you, you can get over it. But words sting into the heart, and you'll remember them for years to come. I remember things that were said to me when I was a teenager. By somebody that I didn't agree with or I didn't like, and it's just set with me and kind of turned the right moment, they can either empower you or completely cripple you. All right, let's look at some scripture here. James chapter 3. If you have your Bibles and want to follow along, you know I'm going to have it up here as long as my stuff works. James chapter 3, start with verse 1. Now many of you should become teachers. Not many of you, excuse me. Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. When we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. And the tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and itself set on fire by hell. Somebody ever said something to you, you thought, well, that came from hell, that wasn't good. The way that was spit out, the way that was thrown at me, the way it was mentioned to me, there couldn't be any good in that. In verse 7, all kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. All these things it says about the tongue. It's small, yet it has the power to turn the entire body. You know it does, because when you're walking off and somebody says something smart, what do? when you're walking out of the room, when your kid's walking out of the room and they mouth off. Well, what's that we said? It gets your attention. And you know what? If we're not careful when other people say things to us, we'll respond before we think. We'll throw it out there. We'll throw something back. Why? Because we want to be sharp. When it's so hard and so difficult just to eat it. You know it is. Just eat it. Just walk away from it and stop the problem. Verse 6. Let's go back there for just a second. I'm dead in the water, boys. It lasted for a little while. Verse 6, it talks about the tongue as a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It says it sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and itself is set on fire by hell. When you hear that it itself is set on fire by hell, when you hear that, how does that make you feel? Let's talk about that. Your tongue is evil, and and the whole part of it is set on fire by hell. How does that make y'all feel? What do you think about the tongue here? Let's throw it out. Makes me feel like the tongue has a pretty big influence on our life. What else? Anybody? What does that verse make you think of? Come on now, I know you got opinions. This is one of those times that you're supposed to talk, not one of the times that you're not supposed to talk.
It reminds me of my need for salvation.
Yeah. I'm just dirty.
It says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Right?
And so when things come out of my mouth that shouldn't be, then it just reminds me how much I need Him.
Don't quote too many more verses because I have to stop. I'm getting to that. It makes me think, you know what? I better be careful what I say. I better think before I speak. And I better be careful not in just when I speak, but what I speak. Because some things are just noise. And they say if you're all the time on your kids, and you're all the time, why are you doing this? Why are you this? Don't do this. Then eventually you just get like background noise to them. But they don't even hear it. They just hear you going off. You're like, I've said this 1,000 times. And they're like, yeah, and after 3, I quit listening. You know? And I've noticed that before with Elijah. Just feel like he just on my nerves about something. I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually it sounds like noise to me too. I'm like, this isn't doing me good or him. punish him or like to just forget about it because we're not doing any good talking about it. I've said that before with April's mad at it. I think we just need to either do something or just drop it because I don't think we're getting anywhere. Look, y'all aren't able to fix that, are you? Matthew 12:36. It says this. It says, "But I tell you that everyone will give an account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken." So that everyone will give an account for every empty word they've spoken. So if you're going to give an account for every single word that you've spoken, then I think you need to be careful about what you say. I don't even like giving an account to April for the things I say. It's like, remember when you said this? No, I don't do that. That's the best way. No, I don't recall. Especially if you were like at a party, a church thing or something, you say something funny and it wasn't funny, you know. It's like, you remember you said that? No, I don't remember. It's just better that way. I think this all goes back to the verse about there being life and death in the tongue. That you're going to be weighed for what you say because your words have power to speak over people. We're good now? Yeah, thank you. So we're good. There we go. But I tell you that everyone will have to give an account on the day of judgment for every empty word that they have spoken. Why do you think that's important, somebody? Come on, Lee. You talk that way. You got things to say. Let's go. Thank you. This is what it's like when you teach 12-year-olds. No, really, I mean, like what kind of words are we going to be held accountable for? Just our regular talking? Is it going to be more than that? Is it going to be words about the gospel? Is it going to be words that we said when we're mad? Is it going to be words that we said that just kind of fell flat? Is it going to be times that we could have spoken it in? I mean, what is it saying? What do you read in that? Every. Yeah.
It's just every word. If we're not speaking God's word, we're not speaking over our children, you know, the people that we're around. Anything that's ungodly, I feel like will be held accountable. It's foolish talk, and we'll be held accountable for it. That is a sobering thought.
I mean, if you talk a lot, you probably say a lot of things that are empty. I know that because I talk for a living here. So,
I don't think that we really have a grasp of how our words create the environment that we live in and how it actually impacts our life and the lives of others. I mean, we have the power of life and death in our mouth, what we say. I mean, God, we are created in His image, and He spoke everything into existence. So that, I'm not saying that I'm speaking, well, something in existence. That's not my point.
Right.
But it is a serious matter.
But we will say this, that words can change attitudes. They can change response. There's a big difference when you go to somebody and you say something to them calmly and try to talk through it logically, and then when you go blast them. Don't blast them. I mean, anytime you blast somebody, they do this. Oh, yeah. How they say it to you, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know, I mean, if I come home and April hits me with 5 things, but she really doesn't do that to me, but if she hit me with like 5 things, like, I'd be like, boy, come on. One more time, we're about to make the news. But you know, they have the ability to change us, they have the ability to move us, they have the ability to shake us. There's people out there right now that think they're sick that aren't. And they've told themselves that over and over and over. And they stay in their bed and they talk down on themselves and they're defeated. And they say, I'm never going to amount to nothing. I'm never going to amount because somebody told them that. And you know what? As long as they keep saying that to themselves, it's true. What's the quote? I think it was Henry Ford or somebody who said, whether a man thinks he is or whether he thinks he isn't, he is correct, basically. That's probably a paraphrase of the quote. But you know, words have this power. When Moses was in the desert and he's leading the Israelite people and he needed water, God told him what? He said, speak to the rock. Speak to it. And Moses did do it because we're hard-headed. And he struck it with a stick, and then he got punished for that. And it cost him a lot. But you know what? Evidently there was power in his words if God thought that he could speak to the rock and it would produce water. So that makes me think, I saying when I'm angry? What am I saying when I'm happy? What am I saying? Because if there's enough power to bring water out of a rock, then I need to be really accountable for what's coming out of my mouth. There must be enough power in the words to create miraculous things. When Jesus was healing the little girl, he said to her, little girl, I say get up, or I say wake up. And she did. So there was power in his words. When Lazarus is in the tomb, Jesus didn't go over there, he didn't rub it, he didn't bring out a magic wand, he didn't rub a stick, he didn't spread spices. No, he said, Lazarus, come out. And when he spoke, it brought things that were dead back to life. So if words are that powerful, then number one, I need to pray for my kids. Number two, I need to pray for my spouse in no certain order. Because I need to be speaking words over them that encourage them and that bring life. Because I tell you what, if you're not speaking life over your kids and you're not praying over your kids, I guarantee you somebody's speaking death over them. Everything that they're listening to, empty words. How many empty words do you think your kids hear today? No. Probably a bunch, right? You probably can't make up for all the empty words that they hear. Elijah, sometimes he says things, and I'm like, where did you hear that? School. Yeah, school, friends, social media, TV, wherever. He heard that there's words being spoken over him. So somebody needs to be in the other corner combating what is coming against. Because if we're not combating what's coming against, then what's coming against is winning. If I don't read the word to my kids, if I don't encourage them to read the word, there's words being spoken over their life, and it's gonna bring about life and death. There's evidence of power of words. If there's this much power in words, then we should be careful how and for what reason we use them. Do you know that your words often identify you? Your words identify you. Because you ever heard somebody start speaking, you go, oh, they're not very intelligent. You see somebody on TV, they're in an interview after one of those tornadoes. Yeah. You're in Walmart. Ever been in Walmart? Yeah, you'll find some people that at least don't sound intelligent. I may be wrong. We're not supposed to judge them. But I'm saying that your words identify you. If you come out and you're cussing and you're ranting and you're raving and you're going off, people are like, that person's not very happy. You know? When Peter was denying Jesus, he understood the power of words and how they brought identity, because he cursed, and then they said they didn't know that he didn't know Jesus. Notice that they never asked him again after he cursed. Even though their eyes had seen him with Jesus, after he cursed, they were like, oh, maybe we can. Surely you went out like that. Why? Because your words identify you. And if you want to sound smart, you need to act smart. And you need to speak words that have meaning and have weight to them. When he started cursing, it was like, there's no question more. He wasn't Jesus. That simple. And when you go out, and when we go out and we act a certain way, people will start going. They either believe that we are what we say we are, or that we're not. Especially when we're dealing with hardship. Because sometimes that if you say you're a Christian, you're living for the Lord, and then somebody's going to bring something to you that's really, really, really heavy. And they're going to tell you about it. And then they're going to see what you do. They're going to tell you about a situation in their family. They're going to tell you about a situation that they got going on. Or they're going to test your patience. And then they're going to see what you do. And then they're going to make the judgment on who you are based on what you say. All right. Luke 6:43. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People do not pick figs from thorn bushes or grapes from briars. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. So trees only produce the fruit of what they are. Simple. What's an apple tree produce? Okay. What's oranges produce? Orange. Banana. Come on. Entertain me now. Banana. Thank you. So it only produces what it is. So if you've got things happening in your life, fruit that's happening in your life that you're not happy with, guess what? You're just naturally producing who you are. Whatever's coming out of this is in this. It's really simple. When more things start coming out of this that we don't like, then we need to check this and get it clean. We naturally produce fruit of what we are. Nothing makes the tree produce fruit. It just naturally does it. So when things are coming out of your life that you're not happy with, then you've got to look at yourself and say, okay, man, I need to fix these things. So when you pour things out of your mouth that are hurtful, discouraging, negative, or lies, gossip, not eventually going to say something that's wrong. But what I am saying is if you're giving your heart to the Lord and you're really trying to live for Him, when you say something that's wrong, you're going to go, I shouldn't have said that. I don't need to act that way. Or when you find yourself gossiping or lying, you're going to feel bad for what you did. See, because if it's dirty on the inside, it's revealed on the outside because you produce what you are. Now, it's interesting that the tongue can speak. How about this? The tongue can speak, and your mate will swim. Swim's a good word, isn't it? It's like the Dickies kind of word, right? So your mate, there's things, like, if I'm trying to set the tone of the house for romance, we'll say that. I'll say a certain thing. It's always fun when your mom and dad's in here and you're saying this thing. I do make jokes. But if I'm trying to set the pace, I'm going to say things to April that are going to pick her up, that are going to encourage her. Looking good, hey, looking good today. I like the way you cooked that. That was good. We won't go into all of them because I don't want to give y'all too many of my tips tonight. We'll do that. But what I'm saying is you'll say things, you'll change your tone. You won't come in and rant and rave about, you wanted chicken and she served hamburgers. You won't worry about all that because you're trying to speak. But it's interesting to me that the same words that out of the same mouth that would make your wife swoon, you can say the other words and you can make her want to kill you. And it might happen within just minutes of one another. All of it. It's just funny that this thing is so powerful that it's really just delivering what's on the inside and bringing it to the outside, but we can change the whole direction of the whole room in just a matter of seconds by what we choose to say. And girls, you know it because you probably fell for some guy who talked to you really good. West End probably laid the charm on. It turned it up, turned it loose. And it worked. That's all his friends were like, that worked. I'm going to use that. Some of those words might have been empty words. See, our tongue, though, it can help us or it can hurt us. It can help us or it hurt us. Luckily, sometimes you can get yourself out of trouble. And then you've got those people who are really good at talking, but you recognize right quick that they're just talking. Their words are empty. Let me show you something. We have to be careful what we say because, like I said, it does reveal who we are. Ephesians 4:29, it says, do not let any, how much is any? Thank you, Rick. Yeah, there we go. Any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. I tell you, y'all have a lot to keep up with that church I was at Sunday. I'm going to tell you, they were ready to beat a drum, they were ready to wave a flag. I mean, it was going good. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. All right, let's take a test tonight. You didn't know you was going to get a test, but you are. It's not very difficult. All right. Are all of your words helpful for building others up according to their needs? No, all of them. So it's not situational. It's all your words. Are all of your words helpful for building others up according to their needs? So that puts me on a test because if it's not, then if it's not, then our words aren't benefiting those who listen. We're just throwing stuff out there. This is garbage. This is garbage. Because it says that they may benefit those who listen. And I'm telling you, I've been in some conversations where I can tell it wouldn't benefit me. Like, I don't want to hear this. I'm exhausted from your story before you start. And I go, so I'm saying we got to be careful. This doesn't just include strangers. This could be true of your mate and your children. Do the words that you say benefit them? Is the thing I choose to say to April, does it benefit her? Is it benefiting her life? The things I tell my children, is it benefiting them? Is it building them up? Is it, according to their needs? So if you know your kid needs praise, but you withhold it, just because that's maybe not your gift, or I'm just not gifted at just praise and adoration. You know what? We'll get good at it. Get good at it. If your kid's all the time walking around with his head down, somebody's got to be the person that brings that up, makes him lift up, makes him walk shoulders up. You can tell somebody who's got a good dad. They walk to. I'm serious though. Like my son, I've been building him up. And when he goes up to bat this time, he's like, yeah, I can hit this guy, even if he doesn't. that stuff in. I'm pouring that stuff in. Maybe you're doing the 30 minutes a day challenge that we got going on right now. Maybe you got that going on. If you're pouring stuff in, then you're not going to be surprised at what comes out. It's just like if I eat tacos when I go ride the roller coaster, I'm not surprised when I throw up tacos. It's what I put in, and so it's what came out. So when you say ugly things and you say nasty things, and it's just not right, then you go, hold up, hold up, hold up. I've got to rethink what I'm saying. And maybe stuff like this, if you're having problems with your spouse and things like that, maybe you need to put more good things about your spouse in than bad. All right, what else? Anybody else? What are something that you can do to stay under control?
I heard that there's three gates. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary?
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? What else?
I think there's a time to speak, and then there's a time to be quiet.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we speak without letting the Holy Spirit help us discern when there's time to speak. Just because we know something that we could say, and it might even be helpful, but they got to be in a place where they can receive what you have to say.
When you were in Louisiana, did you go to a Baptist church?
We did.
You're further back than you want to be. Sorry. You got me all thrown off. They're going to float toward that back road just as quick as they can. See how far Rick is behind me? Rick's coming too, and you're going back. Good job. You're a mediator tonight. Yeah, so we got to hold ourselves under control. There are a lot of habits that at times we deem permissible. They're actually not good for us. Would you agree with that? There's things at times that we say, oh, this is permissible, but it's not really good for us. Here's one, and this verse is going to rub you a little bit. Where's that? Got to look somewhere. Here it is. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. You know, people who talk perversely, we've been around them before. You know, the old, for some of us, it's the guys in the locker room when we were in high school, you know, that locker room talk, that trash talk. There's people that just get hooked on that, and every time you're around them, it's like everything always goes back to that. And the Bible says that it's not good, that it crushes the spirit. So guess what I got to do? I got to identify and separate myself from it, right? Because I want to be beneficial. All right? And so, also, the tongue, it can, the tongue can provoke evil. And it can also turn away wrath. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Well, this is a verse right down. You just get married. This would be good for you to have. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. It pours folly. And a harsh word stirs up anger. All right, rounding it out here. So, why are my words bad? Why are my words bad? It's because you'll spew out what's in the inside of it, and your mouth will always reveal your character. And that's like when we're talking about being two people, and my Simon and my Peter. It's because your mouth will tell them. If there's still a lot of Simon in you, your mouth will show it. You'll show your hand. When people are angry, you see who they really are. Matthew 15:11. What goes into someone's mouth is not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth, that is what defiles them. Look, it isn't putting any of the guilt on the mouth. It's putting the guilt on the source. So this whole conversation is really not a mouth conversation. And the whole scripture really about tongue is not really a tongue problem, but it's a heart problem. And they're trying to deal with the heart problem so that the tongue problem will fix itself. It's like when you have an eye that's bad, they'll cover up one to make the other one stronger. It's like when your heart gets right, your mouth will speak the right things. It'll get stronger. That's why it's important to be mindful. If you're acting like Simon or Peter, Simon sounded like someone who didn't know Jesus, and the people believed him, even though their eyes had seen Jesus, seen him with Jesus. His mouth spoke like someone who didn't know Jesus, and that was more believable than their eyes, which actually saw him with Jesus. Can I tell you a lot about words? They can